watched the debate last night. I know I always say this and I don't tell the truth. But tonight I really want to have a conversation about the debate. So I am not going to go long. So it's not going to be a problem that we came in kind of late because we're going to go to calls early. But fam, before we do any of that, please make sure that you hit the like button for me. If you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for notifications. Also, if you want to donate brown.com or $ breaking brown, patreon.com/ycarnell. All of that good stuff you can do. But please hit that like button. It costs you absolutely nothing to do that. And show some love for no money. So, fam, anyway, let's get right into it. We got to get into it now. I've seen a whole lot of hemming and hawing over the debate last night. It was a lot of hemming and hawing. A lot of hothouse flowers. I saw who believed what. Seemed that according to this, the Spanish-speaking viewers of Telemundo thought Donald Trump won the debate. I watched it, and I should have watched it live because I will tell you it was a lot of alley cat fighting. I said last night they should have just turned off the mics when it was somebody else's chance to go. And now they said, well, we might do that next time. But did you know who the president was when you did it for the first time? Donald Trump done said what I said. He done went on somebody's show and talked about how the Hunter, is it the Hunter the one is he got, what did he say about him? What did Trump say? He said he had the crack. Well, we already covered that. It's a lot of hothouse flowers in the building, though. It's a lot of hand wringing. Let me bring this up. Some of the headlines. Let's just bring that up. Trump's mayhem during first debate. A lot of mayhem. A lot of interrupting. And let me just say, fam. Let me just say, in my own opinion, I didn't do anything. And I have to figure out how to watch, I know I can do it. Put the debate inside of this window and watch it live with you all and watch it together. Because if you had seen me watch it, I didn't do anything but laugh. Because I don't know how anybody expected Trump to be anybody but Trump. And then Biden got stuck there talking about, would you shut up? Would you please shut up? He done said all kind of stuff that wasn't true about the voting. And it's all kind of votes that's stuck in creeks. And, we can't do that. It was a whole lot that happened last night. And I just want to get y'all takes on what happened last night, too. So we can have the conversation. I don't really have a moment except for this moment right here. This Proud Boys moment where they said, would you talk down? Would you talk down and say you don't endorse the white supremacists and the people? Now, the Proud Boys founder, I don't know how white you can say it is. You can say it's internalized white supremacy because that's how it's been used. We've talked about that here. Because as a friend pointed out to me last night, their chairman or whatever it is a brown Cuban. And they asked Trump and they said, well, what are you going to tell them? And he said, well, I would tell them to stand back and stand by. Now, they went around and what you see on your screen is what they made. They made themselves placards and they probably sell in the church to say stand back and stand by. For those of you who don't know, that means be on alert. Be on alert because if things go left, I might need you. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Now, see, fam, let's just... I really, when you consider that, I really don't see how people are trying to say that we are the problem. Let me bring something else up just 1 second here from just to kind of bring something else home and make it a point. It's a lot of foolishness going on. This is who we're talking about, right? The Proud Boys. Go look them up. Nationalists. What do they call themselves? National chauvinists. Child, it's just something they made up. People just can say anything. But here's the problem. There was so much going on last night. I don't think anybody made very many points. I think Joe Biden came with some facts. But the one thing I took away from anything, and y'all can tell me what y'all took away from it. I took away Biden is a Republican and Trump is crazy. And he sympathizes with white supremacy. Well, here's the thing. People will say, well, Yvette, that means, don't you understand what that means, Yvette? That means we have to go and vote for Biden to get him out of there because anything's better than him. And I want to offer you, because I've been thinking a lot about the gentleman who called in the last show and who said, I think it was the last show, they're going to kill us anyway, Yvette, and what us going to do. And I'm not trying to make fun of the gentleman. I'm just saying, like, this is the sentiment. This is what I got from you. This is how I took it all in. And I was thinking about it. And I said to myself, I don't think that people understand, not all people, but I don't think that people understand how perfect this moment is. Just like last night, Biden didn't understand that when you get into a ring with an alley cat and don't nobody pull the alley cat off of you, you just got an alley cat fight. You can't be looking at Chris Wallace and ain't you gonna get him? He on me, he punching on me again. That's not right. He just hit me in the jaw. Did you see him? It came at me like a stroke of lightning. He just over here scratching on me and the whole thing say no scratching and he wild. Well, yeah, when you in an alley cat fight, you got an alley cat fight. I don't know what to tell you. This is not a gentleman's brawl. That man was just cutting you up all times wrong. And you can say, yeah, he lost because that's not what presidents do and that's not presidential. But still, you called him a clown a little bit, but you let that man keep interrupting you like that. They shouldn't have been able to hear nothing nobody had to say. You should have just shouted him down. Shut up! When you let this be a lesson, and I think liberals have it all wrong. This like I hate to keep going back to this, but this Telemundo thing. Let me just bring it up a little bit. I think this is the point of the night where you don't understand what is happening. I think too many liberals are listening to each other. Right? And when you see this Spanish language in terms of what they had, in terms of Biden at 34% and Trump at 66%, I think there are some other people besides these Spanish language people who are not telling the truth about who they thought won. There are people who feel like people need to be kept in check, like the Negroes. Who's going to keep the Negroes in check? Biden won't do it. I don't know why you don't think Biden won't do it. He did it with them crime bills. Trump threw that out there too. Alley cat fighting. Just ripping him. He did that too. He said you didn't know what school you went to, Biden, and you misremembered it, and he just was hitting at you, and couldn't nobody hold him or control Trump. He was just doing whatever he wanted to do, just slapping you around like a little rag doll. Now I don't know. I think some people may not be telling the truth about how they walked away from that debate, which wasn't really a debate. But I think Trump is perfect for the moment. How, Yvette? Because everybody else is running around the internet talking about how all hot house flowering and saying we got to get him out of there. No, Trump was vicious. Trump was vicious. Trump was not in any way gentlemanly. Trump was not presidential. Trump was cruel. Trump was brutal. Trump was American. I don't know who these people are or who are sitting around lying to themselves about what America is and what America represents. America has always been Trump. And we as ADOS have always known it because we have always lived it. Some of y'all are about to get a taste of it. And guess what? If you tell me this isn't what America is, I can point you directly to the president, because Trump does not just represent himself. He represents everybody who voted for him. Now I understand he didn't win the popular vote, but y'all ain't tried to upend the system, so we are where we are. And that is a significant number of people. And even if we go over to the other side, what you will find is that a lot of those people are the same way. They just are more polite about it. They would never call you. Like if we had a different president, he would never call you an N-word to your face. He would never say like Trump did, my African American, please stand up. Remember that? My African American. But now we have somebody who will do that. And what I'm saying, and I've said this before, is the Mr. I'm going to tell the Proud Boys to stand up and not stand down. That person, that man, that Trump is the perfect representation of America. It's so honest. It's so in your face. I just giggled and chuckled my way through that debate. Look at this tweet. Hold on, let me bring it up a little bit bigger. It's so hilarious. Oh, y'all getting a taste of it now, ain't you? After Joe Biden refrained from attacking Trump's family last night in response to Trump's comments, Donald Trump Jr. called Hunter Biden crackhead Hunter on the Glenn Beck program today. They don't care. Here's the thing. They have never cared. This is a sign to me. Listen, this is a sign to me that America's finally getting honest. That's what I see. By electing Trump, at least America, at least we finally getting honest about how you truly feel. When you get up on stage and you say, what did he say? He said, stand back and stand by. When you get up on the stage and you say that, you have given a very true representation to what you really are and what you really feel. And to me, that's progress. So nobody can go over to the White House and have nice words. Y'all saw Charlemagne. He had they was clowning him on his own show, talking about Charlemagne. You went to the White House talking about opportunity zones. We had somebody else talk about opportunity zones who shall remain nameless. That we had to get in check. That got real mad. He said, Charlemagne, I don't know. That's not why I came. I didn't really come to try to. Let me tell you. Hold on. But that's not why I was there. Yes, it was why you were there, Charlemagne. But y'all so busy chasing all these crumbs that fall from the table of white supremacy. You don't care. I just want to see if I can get something out of it. We all got to get paid. Everybody get some money. It ain't going to work. See, all this stuff, it's a beautiful moment. See, that's what I would say to the gentleman who called in. It's a wonderful moment. The clarity. You can't move in a moment if you don't have clarity. I have all kinds of clarity about who is moving individually for themselves, who is moving for the group, who don't know anything and they're just dumb and stupid, who knows a lot but they quiet. There's some of y'all out there, y'all know a lot and you quiet. I'm bringing the quiet people real close to me, right? You have to have some kind of clarity. And the lies of white supremacy have stood in the way of us having clarity in terms of how we've got to move. Now we have a lot of clarity. We have an honest president. Donald Trump says, my African American. He lets us know how he really feels. I appreciate the clarity of this moment. This is not a hothouse flower moment for me. He guts people like the capitalists who hoard all the dream hoarders. That's what he does. That is clarity for me. Everything he said last night. He interrupted Biden so many times that I couldn't keep up. Biden started talking, have his hands out. Biden just kept having his hands out like this. Biden, ain't nobody gonna rescue you for what? It's an alley cat fight. You better get alley cat. But if you don't, that's fine. Do what you do. We are ADOS is, because we understand that everybody's standing for themselves and we're going to stand for ourselves. This is a moment of clarity for us in terms of who white America voted for, right? Who they elected to be their president. It's a moment of clarity for us. You need clarity. You don't need anybody saying, no, America's a land of opportunity and milk and honey. You need somebody saying, my African American. You need somebody telling them Proud Boys, hey, if I need you, I'm going to call on you because the votes ain't going to be right. Whatever happens, happens. You need somebody that's honest about it. Let me tell you a story. I was in D.C. when George W. Bush got elected, right? During the inauguration, I was working. So I remember that there were people all over in town protesting. All kinds of stuff. They got arrested off. You didn't see any of that on the news. And it went away because George Bush said he was a different kind, soft, gentle, kind, warm, smile Republican. Trump ain't none of that. So it's harder to make that kind of stuff go away. And it might be on and popping. Something might be on and popping. He said, stand by. I know how you really feel. And America knows how we really feel and what we have been dealing with the entire time we've been here. So let me move on to something else really quickly. And we're going to talk about this debate. I'm going to take your questions when you call in, and we're going to have this conversation about different parts of the debate. But I want to go on to something else quickly, because I promised I wasn't going to take too long. We was going to have a discussion. And I always don't do that right. So the last call kind of bothered me because it said, the man said when he called in, if y'all didn't catch the show last time, he said, these people, they gonna kill us. They'd rather have us dead than give us reparations. And I think I gave a decent answer, but I wanna double down on something. I want to double down on who we are. And I want to double down on where we are in this process. So, shout out to all the ADOS fam in California, Governor Gavin Newsom, the bill that y'all got through hard work, Antonio, all of y'all did great work. Let me tell you, this was not happening prior to ADOS. And it's not just this day. This day is one day of many. But understand, we have been doing this day in and day out for only 2 years. Imagine if somebody had been doing it for a longer time. Understand, you can't view things just through your emotional lens of today. You also can't view things through the lens of somebody, whoever they may be, who doesn't ever do anything at all. Slack-jawed people, if you will. If you sometimes just go to your Google. Google is your friend in terms of what you can search and what you can research. Go back and do the little search for a particular period of time. So go back 4 or 5 years ago and search for reparations. All you're probably going to find is the Ta-Nehisi Coates piece. There's no movement to undergird it. So what am I saying? Well, Yvette, they still not going to give us nothing. You saw Trump and the Proud Boys, and I'm sad and I'm depressed. Brookings Fellow predicts reparations could happen in the next 10 years. We are seeing a tremendous amount of movement on this, and people are seeing a tremendous amount of how we have not only a tremendous amount of data and history and economic information, we also now have a tremendous amount of racism, overt racism. So nobody can say, no, this was a long time ago. I don't know what you're speaking of, but it didn't happen right here. We've moved on. You cannot live through the Trump administration and believe that anymore. Trump has provided some clarity about the existence of white supremacy, and it's got a lot of white leftists getting clocked upside the head and a lot of stuff going on with y'all, and you didn't expect to bleed, right? I understand. We understand that. Wait a minute, when you call reparations expensive, what we now understand about it is the cost of racism. U.S. economy lost $16 trillion. Oh, won't God do it? Y'all lost what you owe. Listen, U.S. economy lost $16 trillion because of discrimination, bank says. You lost what you owe. Took it back from you. You wouldn't give it to us, so you got stripped of it. Ooh, ain't that something? That's a beautiful thing. But we see it now. We're beginning to see not just the cost to us. You see the cost to America. Got white people running in the streets talking about, I ain't never really seen it this bad. Lord help me. Do yourself a favor and listen to I listened to the podcast, the New York Times, what is it? First Up. You know what, I'm gonna find out what it is just do yourself a favor sometime and listen to this. It's horrible sometimes, but to us it's comedy. Okay, in a lot of ways. So what was that? Okay, the Daily, that's the Times one, and Up First NPR. I usually listen to those in the morning. And there was some woman on one of those not too long ago who had been shot with like pellets, and she was hollering and screaming and said she lost herself. She probably lost her bowels too. But the way she sounded. But what I'm saying is, they have never experienced this world. They thought this world was left in 1968. They didn't know that this is the world. And they have been impacted by the world trying to march, and you got reporters getting hit in the head with bullets and bean bags and rubber bullets and being slammed by cops and being ran over. People, clarity. This is a moment of clarity. You got to be thankful for clarity because everybody knows what side they stand on. Everybody knows where they are. When you say to me, well, I don't think it's going to work, I can show you the HR 40 co-sponsors that weren't there. Not after Ta-Nehisi Coates' piece, not after anything else happened. They just weren't there. They're there now. You can go back to the beginning of ADOS and see that they weren't there and see how many were there and see how many were added. That lets you know what we just did in this little piece, in this little frame of time. And let me tell you, Trump has been so helpful to helping us frame race and racism in America. Right? So helpful. And what I want to get to and in a second is what has been tried. See, because one of the things that we have to understand, when people try to run, they try to run to something. Look at this. Look at this. What America owes. We've had so many articles about how America owes ADOS reparations in the last just year. Forget the last 2 years in the articles that we've been in, just the last year alone. You don't run away from that. When you got this kind of momentum, when you got these kind of people saying, yes, it's old, you don't run the other way. You don't do the Amanda Seals and say, oh my God, it's so bad outside. We just got to vote for Biden. Go over there and write a joke. Go do something. Go do whatever people pay you to do. I don't care. Don't come over here telling me we got the momentum. We got the wind at our back right now. Ain't nobody been talking about this. This is the moment. We got a racist over here. We got Trump. Now we got Biden over here who locked up everybody. Who locked up. The reason why we don't have enough black people going to come out to vote. Well, you might not have as many as you think you need because you locked up all the men. So, hey, they can't vote disproportionately. You have distilled the oppressive force of race in America, and I thank you for it. It is a perfect moment for ADOS to rise. And that's what we have been doing in every way possible, in every article possible, in every publication possible. Support for a program to pay reparations to descendants of slaves is gaining momentum. Could come with a $12 trillion price tag. That price tag too low. That's not the point, though. The point is we're here now. And anybody who wants to run from the moment is somebody that can't be trusted. You see it everywhere. Every publication. I think I put this in the newsletter the other day. Reparations for black Americans would cost trillions of dollars, and it's time the U.S. government paid up. When you seen that? Who's going to run from that just to have Biden? Now is not the time to back down. Now is not the time to say, forget reparations. Forget everything y'all talking about. I surely is scared. I sure would. There's some things I sure would like. I was afraid. That's what these people are telling you. But this is the moment. You have to seize the moment. I was thinking about it. And I was thinking about how, what the gentleman said and how you can't run away from the moment. You can't run away from your moment. Your moment is your moment. You are born here in this moment. You're supposed to be here. Put your shield on, put your armor on and run. And let me tell you what your armor is. Your armor is that you're ADOS. What does that mean? Obama failed because he wasn't ADOS. We are ADOS. We have anchored, and that's the beauty of the California bill, that it anchored everything in lineage and excluded and included us. You have to build on that. But let me say this. Obama wasn't ADOS. And we thought that was a good thing. Well, the white folks ain't going to accept nobody who don't come from them. So it's good for he be there. Nah. It doesn't work that way. Obama didn't have the armor to fight white supremacy because he was an ingratiator. What do you mean, Yvette? He was an ingratiator. What are you trying to say? What I'm trying to say is this man had built his life on ingratiating people. So when Mitch McConnell said what he said, I'm not supporting anything from Obama, I'm not doing nothing with him, he ain't gonna get nothing past Obama, because he had always ingratiated himself to white people. He didn't understand it. He didn't have the wiring. He didn't have the armor of being ADOS and coming from sharecroppers and slaves. So he didn't know that that white man meant business. You're gonna have to really fight him. You can't run up on him and smile and giggle. It's not gonna work. We know it's not going to work. We could have told him, oh no. He thinks of you as the N word, even though you're not us. And you know that because you have always, up until Michelle, you've dated white, up until you've had a bunch of white friends. You've always been able to go into any room and smile your way out of it and convince white people that you are different. We knew that wasn't going to happen this time because we have the armor. We have the makeup of ADOS. That's who we are. So we know that wasn't going to work for you. We knew it. We knew it wasn't going to work for you. But since you didn't have the armor of ADOS, you are a failure. See, it's not like you were just ADOS and you sold out. That's different. You just a sellout. You didn't have it in you. You didn't have the thing you needed to recognize that that white man was about to be a white man in the worst kind of way. Not good. He had decided, listen, this man is an N-word. I don't care if he ain't them, and we gonna show him. You kept smiling and kikiing and cacaing, and you did not have the anchoring for the moment that you're in. But here's the blessing, right? We do. Talking about you, talking about me, we have the anchoring for the moment. Right? People say that line from King was misinterpreted about the arc of the universe bends in the direction of justice or whatever. That's fine. I would just say the arc bends how you bend it. And you can either bend it or leave it alone. Our will needs to be expressed in the governance of this country. There's no other way about it. There's no other way to do it. Right? And honestly, if you want to really talk about it, if you want to really have a conversation about it, conceding has consequences. When you planting the seed, you can't just go dig it up mid sprout. You gotta let it do what it do, and you gotta help it do what it do. And that's the kind of moment. That's the moment that we're in right now. Obama didn't put himself in the. He wasn't ADOS, so he couldn't put himself in the identity of ADOS. So he put himself in the identity he's always been in, which is ingratiating. And that way, who he was a weakness. And that's how he had a wasted presidency. I don't think Obama will be remembered. There are a lot of presidents' names that we don't remember. Obama's will be one of them. We'll remember him as the first black president, but you won't remember anything he accomplished. You instead of putting yourself in the identity of us, you went around trying to explain to everybody how you're not us, and it didn't work, and it was never gonna work. So my point, though, fam, is stop thinking that being ADOS in this moment is a negative. No, it's perfect. We understand this situation perfectly, and it's going perfectly, right? I see the hothouse flowers are all around. And so, this is our news media. So we have a tendency to believe what they say, but don't. It don't make no sense to do so. Don't believe none of that. Because let me tell you something, fam. There's one thing you have to understand. Not only are we moving in the right direction, which makes now, or not in terms of everybody writing what they're writing, which makes now not a time to give up at all. That's not what you're here for. You're in this moment to fight. That's just what it is. And we're good at it. We've proven that we're good at it. But the second part about it is I just want everybody to understand everything, because I see some stuff online that talks about, like, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here you go. Here she is. This is y'all's girl, Amanda Seals. Should be somewhere writing jokes. But instead, she got to talk to us. About last night, I don't want no more SHIT about reparations, black agenda, Kamala as AG, 94 crime bill. We got to stay focused. Right? there are a few things that we should understand as we move forward. One is that we are winning. We're not losing, we are winning. The second thing, though, is to understand that everything has been tried before. So when people tell you, oh my God, we just got to get Trump out of there, you're going to get him out of there to where? You're going to get him out of there to where? America is still America. When you get Trump out of there, America is still America. The people that voted for him don't go anywhere. Right? They're not going nowhere. They still here. You have to transform America. This is not just about getting one white man out of the White House and replacing him with another white man who wrote the crime bill. This is not about that. This is either you transform America or you don't. And you do that through ADOS. Period. Period. Point blank and period. This is not about just exchanging white men or white women. This is about transforming the country and transforming the hierarchy of this country and placing us higher up on the hierarchy so that we have what we've earned and what was taken away from us during the plunder. That's what this is about. I don't know what y'all are running. Let me just say this before I go to the phones. Ain't some of y'all been running enough? Here goes the brown Proud Boy guy. See, they got the brown ones too. Ain't some of y'all been running enough? I'm just saying, when you think about it, the Great Migration, we had to run from the South and all the way into the Midwest and went to the North. And then you think about it, we tried to do leftist politics, right? FDR. There was segregation in his public housing, and we were cut out of that for a long time. So that didn't work out, because even if you do leftist stuff, they find a way to stay on top. We tried to do so many things. We tried to do Nixon's black capitalism. Ain't work out, right? We've tried to do regular leftism with the wilted red roses. Ain't work out. No, they don't want to do reparations. They just want you to sign on to the Green New Deal. You know, I'm trying to think of everything that we have tried. We tried just trusting Democrats and voting for them and they'll do the right thing. We vote top of the ticket, vote for the president every year, Democrat. It ain't work out. They eventually put people on the top of the ticket above us, like people who they have to fight for. Oh my God. Like Biden said, the Latinos are much more diverse, so I got to fight for them. Wait a minute, we're your most loyal group and you don't do anything for us. Except just throw us little crumbs, hit us upside the head, and you just eat what you got. You get us want a steak over here. So we tried doing that, it ain't work out. We tried doing republicanism and, like I said, black capitalism with Nixon. It ain't work out. I'm just trying to go down the list. What else y'all got, fam, that we tried that didn't work? They told us, who told us? Oklahoma lawsuit, we got that going for the Tulsa massacre. But who told us, who was it? Booker T. Washington said, if you cast down your buckets and work hard, it's going to work out. It didn't work out. W.B. Du Bois, talented 10th. He eventually recanted that and had issues with it himself, but they going to be an example. It ain't work out. It's a lot that we tried. We tried vision boards. Oprah told us to write on the vision board. It ain't work out. Think and Grow Rich. If you just think about it, you don't need no reparations. You just think about it and you're going to be rich. It didn't work out. What I'm telling you, who were those people? Remember those people too who told us we had everybody got the same 40 hours and every day. You just got to get up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. and you just work to midnight. I wish I would fall out getting up. Shut up. Remember that? You just got to work yourself until your organs shut down. It ain't work out. What else, fam? What else didn't work? Start your own business. Yep. It ain't work out. That was boys. You got to start your own business and buy one Nike stock. Boys, bless your heart. Yeah, Steve Harvey, you gotta just wake up early. You're gonna be sleepy and tired. So tired. They told us we could just move off to ourselves, just be segregated. We tried that with Tulsa. They burnt it down. It didn't work out. Then they said we could be integrated. We tried to be integrated, and they ran us out of their neighborhoods. It didn't work out. They said go to Africa. Y'all went to Ghana and you landed in a mess, right? Some of y'all who've gone, you don't understand that you're westernized. Hell, black immigrants from West Africa come over here and not going back, and you're gonna try to go back. Didn't work out. When I'm trying to share with everybody, they said, "Oh, I know another one." Let me see if anybody else got another one. Let me see. Anybody else got another one? But here's another one. Here's another one, fam. They told us we could have federal jobs. And there was a great article about how Latinos are trying to move it on net and try to mimic what we did from a few years ago. But they said you can have federal jobs, you can work at the post office, have a stable life. But now they're trying to cut the post office. Why? Because Negroes are there. Didn't work out. I'm telling you, you have to have power in this society. There's a hierarchy. And that hierarchy is built on wealth. Look what has been taken from black Americans. The only way you take that back, I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care what comedians tell you. I don't care what anybody tells you about how scared and how tired they are. I don't care about nobody being tired or scared. Take a nap. You're supposed to rest. But the reason you see all these articles based on our advocacy is because now is the time, and it's the only thing that does work out. Because in the richest country in the world, not only can you not exist as wealthless people, as a wealthless group, we're not supposed to be wealthless. How do you build a country and be wealthless? Because you've been robbed and plundered. We have. That's what's happened to us. And my point to say all of that is, this is the only way. There is no out. Don't start running left and running right and running up and running down. Don't start running. Don't start running. Don't let your legs get you to moving. This is the only way. There is no other way. All the other ways have been tried. We at this moment now. We have to go through the through line now. We are at the moment we're at. And there is no other choice. There is no other choice. I know some of y'all got fast feet. But this is it. This is it. And we're going to keep fighting. And that just is what it is. And the whole debate last night and Trump acting a fool, that was wonderful. Because it cemented the country that we're in. Because for too long, people have tried to make us believe we're in another country. We know the country we're in. We know how we live. And we know that Trumps are everywhere. Now America gets to see it. Which means America doesn't have any deniability anymore about white supremacy and how it upends us in this country. Wonderful. Now all we got to do is get to it. So fam, give me a couple minutes. Like I said, I'm going to end early so I can set up the calls. I'm going to come back. And I want you to tell me what you thought of the debate. What was your most eye-opening moment? What moment made you laugh? What moment made you chuckle? Did you have any kind of insight when you watched it? Did anything kind of occur to you, or you think back to something that we had on the show? I want to know what you thought when you saw it. Give me a couple minutes to set up the phones, and I will be right back. I am back, fam. I am back, and I am going straight into the calls. I am going now to my first call. I'm going to 919. 919. What is your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hi, Yvette. This is Dawn, Triangle, ADOS, North Carolina. How you doing?
I've been doing great. How about yourself? Uh-oh.
That's great, great. I'm so glad to get to talk to you. Of course, I love the show. Thank you so much for all the work you do. We wouldn't be here without you. Today is a great day for ADOS. ADOS is winning. I love it. And the debate last night, I was really looking forward to seeing Trump get up there and smash Biden, because I felt like they have definitely been out there on Twitter collecting all of our talking points. And so I was just really glad to see Trump come through. But I definitely can do without another debate. I don't need to see that again. I thought it was a train wreck. But I was just really glad to see that, America finally gets to see itself. And the realization that I had was that, the system is just not for us. It's not here for us. It's not even our fight. We're not here to save America. And that it just became so clear that the only thing that ADOS should worry about, should even be concerned about, with laser-like focus, is reparations in this fight that we're on. And I feel like, we are definitely on the path, and that everything is falling into place, and we just have to keep on the path. And I appreciated you giving us a little pep talk last night and last show and tonight, and I feel a lot better after listening to the show tonight. I feel a little refreshed after California. I'm really happy about what everybody else out there is doing, all the good work that everybody is doing, and I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad we're still here, still standing, and I can't wait till the next conference. And I'm just, I think we're winning.
I agree wholeheartedly, fam. I thank you. I appreciate you calling in, but I agree wholeheartedly. I agree with you. I think it too, and I think sometimes, do you understand? Sometimes when you're in a battle, it's hard to see that you're winning. Like, you could be winning, but you can't see that you're winning because you're in it. So you don't know that you're winning. Like, think about how far we've come in like these last couple years. Oh, I can't wait for the next conference. Oh, it saddens me that this would be this coming up. I think this coming up weekend would have been our conference. We might have to do something for that too. But anyway, let me go to my next caller, fam. I am going to 903. 903, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hi, is this me? Hello?
Yes, you're on.
Okay, so my name is X, and, wow, this is the first time I'm calling in, guys, so, hey, ADOS fam.
What's up?
I'm glad that we're growing, but, I just want to say that I, too, laughed the entire time of the debate, and I would also like to point out to people, if you want to go back and rewatch the debate, watch Biden's eyes every time Trump brings up something nasty. For example, when he brought up the issues with his son, I found that very funny. Like, he really caught Biden off guard, and wow, that's all I have to say. Good night, Sam.
Good night. Good night. But yeah, I don't even know why you wouldn't go in expecting Trump to be Trump. You think y'all got rules? You think y'all had an agreement? Do you know this man? What you thinking? Or you think you're just gonna throw your hands up? No. I mean, it's funny to me. I really think a lot of liberals are just kind of in their own world in terms of, oh my God, that was not right. These Americans ain't caring. They want fisticuffs. Anyway, I'm going to my next call. I'm going now to 206. 206, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, Sister Yvette, peace. It's your brother Mark Black, Black Outcast Media from Seattle. It's been a while.
How you doing? You good?
Oh, Sister, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. You
hear
doing
me?
all right?
Oh, hey, Sister, it's your man Mark Black from Seattle, Black Outcast Media. It's been a while.
Okay. What's on your mind?
Oh, Sister, I won't take long. I just first of all wanted to say thank you for this one. I think, truthfully, even though this is one of your shorter ones, this is probably one of your best broadcasts. You kept it right on point. I couldn't agree with you more. Last night, the debates, I actually watched them, and I didn't see anything I didn't expect. There was no surprises, and I think that that's a credit to the work that we have, as ADOS, have been putting in for the last 3 years, getting up on our advocacy, So none of what happened yesterday was a shock or a surprise to me. It was slightly entertaining, but other than that, I didn't hear anything that was, strange or untoward or whatever. But, the one thing I wanted to say was that I want us to remember in this moment, because you said something earlier that really resonated with me. You said that we tried all these other things, right? And one thing that I like to tell people all the time is, in order to get something you never had, you have to do what you've never done, right? And the one thing that we've never done is what you, in Tone, taught us. You taught us a love for two things. One, a love for our people and our ancestors, our lineage, our heritage, right? Because lineage matters. And two, to have a love affair with the truth. Because the only people that's out there now crying and stressed out and tired is the ones who didn't pay attention, who thought that America was something other than what Trump shows us it is every day.
And what that means, they had a good life, fam. What that means, that they had a good life. That's what that means. That means that they had a good life. If you were surprised by Trump, and that means that you've been living real good and real high off the hog. I'm gonna let you finish, fam. I'm sorry.
No, you absolutely spot on, sister. I mean, there's no other two ways around it. Because if you've had this ADOS life, nothing that was said yesterday should be a shock. Period. Right? Like, and with the clarity that Trump brings to the table, it even highlights something that I don't think a lot of us even really see, and that is just how much people like Biden and our fellow white liberal citizens actually enable the ferocity, the I'm just gonna call it what it is, the fascism, the authoritarianism of a Trump. Right? And the only problem that white America seems to have with Trump now is that Trump is indiscriminate. He's like a cluster bomb, right? Everybody's starting to
getting caught in it.
Pardon my language, the niggerification, right, of America proceeds apace. That's their only issue, right? He says the quiet part loud. He has no chill. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't know how to lie about the power dynamic and the way that this country is designed to operate. And they're wanting him to shut up so that we shut up.
Now, are you saying that America has a problem with honesty?
Oh, of course not. We know America's the most honest nation on the planet. Yeah, of course they do, sister. I mean, think about this, right? Like, part of the reason why they've been able to continue the facades for so long is because we get people like Biden in there or like Barack Obama in there, and then all the issues America got with authoritarianism, because we're the canaries in the coal mine, right? Whatever happens to us ultimately happens to America. That's been clear all throughout history. But we get people like Biden in there, and then everybody else goes to sleep for 4 years.
Ooh, wait! They about to be woke up with that Trump.
Oh yeah, they're about to be woke. Everybody's about to be woke. All the veils are getting pulled. All of the illusions are being shattered, and I, for one, love to see it.
I do too. I laugh so hard. Ooh, I laugh so hard. Gosh, I hate to tell them. You ever laugh so hard that you do something else at the same time that you laugh? Oh, I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard yesterday. Oh,
I'm telling you,
I didn't know what was going on.
Up.
Fuck. Go ahead, fam. I'm sorry.
No, sister, I'm right there with you. I was cracking up. When you said that how Biden gonna come into a debate expecting Trump not to be Trump? Like, anybody who's paid attention for the last 3 years and change know how Trump operates. You know what I'm saying? So, that was never. It wasn't like you were gonna ever hear Trump come out and talk about policy, ideas. No.
That's not who he
Trump
is.
was in it for distance and irritation. That was it.
That was it. You right, fam. That was it.
I won't keep you too long. Jen, I appreciate your work. We've had this coming for a long time, and this is a credit to the chapters, to your work, to other advocates of ours. I just want to say I love all of you, fam. We winning. Our win, in my opinion, was never in doubt. So keep up the good work, sister. I love you.
Thank
you so much for everything.
I appreciate your call, fam. Thank you so much. And like he said, to the chapters. The chapters do a lot of good work, and we're at the stage right now where y'all don't get enough of what is your due. I know that. We all know that, but that's not going to always be the day. Y'all not going to always be the unsung heroes. So just hold tight. We structuring this thing, and it's not going to always be that way. But I said it on Twitter a while ago, but I see y'all. I see what y'all doing. I see the effort y'all are making. Ain't none of this, like some kind of buku. We're not bringing, we having structure, so we're not Black Lives Matter bringing in a bunch of money. They don't do nothing, just bringing a bunch of money for the people at the very top. So, I just want to say that, like, everybody sees what the chapters are doing. It's not like we don't see it. It's not like we don't appreciate it. As a group, not just me, not just Antonio, we all appreciate it. And it's not going to always be the day. Like, those of you who are in chapters doing that work, you all are going to be lifted as leaders. It's just give it time. Like, all of that stuff is going to happen. It's going to roll out. Because we don't do a Messiah kind of leadership here. Like, there are leaders on leaders on leaders. That's just how it's going to work. So I just wanted to say that and give y'all a shout out, because there are a lot of y'all who, shout out to California, but it's a lot of y'all who actually, you haven't gotten there or whatever, but you still been doing great work, and you deserve your due too. So that's just for y'all, and California too. But let me just go to the next caller really quick. I am going now to, let me go to 401. What is your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hi, Yvette.
Hey, what's going on?
T. James. Not much. Tonight, I'm just relaxing, not working tonight.
Okay,
but
good for you.
T. James from Rhode Island.
Okay.
Not a lot of us in Rhode Island. There's a few of us, but not a lot of us to make change.
Okay.
And I've been hashtag down ballot since the beginning. And last night proved it. That debate proved it. When
How
Trump
so?
said 47 years, Biden he's been in politics for 47 years. What has he done? Put us in jail for having what? His son smoked crack, and he put us in jail for years for just having a few grams.
Yeah. Absolutely, that's true.
And then Trump with his stand by, stand up for all of those out there who say the platinum plan, I call it the Cadillac plan, whatever plan. Listen, that's like Tone said, that was something that was totally trying to mock us. That was something that was totally against ADOS. The platinum plan, the Cadillac plan.
I agree.
And another thing about the debate that I didn't like, and and Biden didn't come on strong with the pre-existing conditions. When Trump was saying come on, Trump doesn't care less about pre-existing conditions. Only pre-existing condition he cares about is how much he's going to get paid after this is over if he doesn't make it in office. If he doesn't stay in office.
Yeah.
I want to thank you and Tone for my political education, because, listen, in my state, black men, I work for UPS, so I was always taught to get a job after you get out of high school, so I'm a little straight. But I can't even get my nephew in the union, so he's guaranteed a pension. They're playing games right now. They're playing games. So I'm 48 years old, to the fam, the 80-year-old fam that don't know, 48. I'm all set. I'm ready to get my pension at 57 years old. But my nephew, my sister, they're not set up like I am. So I'm trying my best to help them out in their endeavors. But last night debate proved why I'm hashtag down ballot all the way.
Absolutely.
Local government.
Absolutely. Thank you, fam. I appreciate you calling in, and I think it proved to a lot of us. Like what was on that stage that you wanted to vote for? Like somebody called Trump playing the Crown Royale plan. Yeah, something like that. Like what are we supposed to do with the platinum plan? Because Trump doesn't spend enough time with rappers and stuff like that. He got a bunch of pictures with Diddy and all kind of other people. You don't spend enough time with rappers to remember when they was doing the platinum stuff. Remember, also they had the platinum credit cards. Y'all remember that? This the gold card. This the platinum card. If you don't look at that interest rate. So I do think it was just kind of racist nonsense. And then you look at Biden, like, how long did he lock us up? Yeah, ain't nothing on this stage I want. I'm just not interested. So I am going to my next caller. Let me see who I'm going to. I'm going to 678. 678, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, Yvette.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm very well. Ray out of College Park.
Oh, College Park. How is everything, fam?
Just right out of Shady Park. The question was about the debate that got me, that just tripped up Biden, was when Trump said, what police force or any kind of police have endorsed you? And the trip part is, if he had been an ADOS, He could have tied that in right along with them racist white boys he was talking about, right along with the slave catchers, right along with the police and his brutality. But by him being a part of that very same racist system, he was like stumped. There was absolutely nothing he could say. He was like, nobody endorses him because he is part of the massive incarceration. But that was the part that got me.
Did you laugh at all? Did you laugh? Did you chuckle? Did you giggle?
Girl, Trump is the essence of the reason why we are where we are. Because one of the things I wanted to tell you was Reconstruction tried it, and it didn't work out. With Reconstruction, it was sabotage. Everything was sabotage that came our way, right along with peonage. We set free by slavery by another name, peonage. Yeah. Michelle, the girl that wrote the book about the new Jim Crow. Michelle Alexander. The thing that you were saying about the clarity, ADOS clarify us with different blacks. You got the skin, but you ain't no kin. The French owe the Haitian, the British owe the Jamaican, and Quasi Kip. We ain't African American. Africa, the name of a continent, got 54 nations, and some of them sold slaves. And now right along with these races, now with those evangelicals who was once Democrats, but now they are Republicans, and they backing up law and order. Right along with law and order comes right along with mass incarceration and the slave catchers. It's just a cake being baked, and they don't have to eat it.
That's what it is, fam. You are exactly right. I don't disagree with you at all. And this is just all. We just are where we are. I don't know why people don't understand that. What you mean? Well, I don't understand how we got here. What you mean? What you mean you don't understand? You don't understand American history? I understand it fine.
It's amazing. America itself has always put racist white supremacy over patriotism. There's no greater patriot than a black man on a black woman in uniform.
No, not ever. Nobody's more patriotic than us. Never has been. A Negro with a flag.
And then on top of the racism, white supremacy over patriotism, on top of that was the injustice. I mean generations of injustice behind injustice, and now the data is starting to prove to them it don't cost them money after money after money. If they didn't invest in it, we'd have kept businesses right here in America because we're a true blue Americans. We want to ran off to some other country that's trying they're going to give us a tax break because we love our nation.
Absolutely.
My flag is red, white, and blue.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say it before I go. It's red for the blood that my ancestors shed. It's white because of the bones America's built on, and it's blue for the brutality we have suffered through generations.
Ooh, brother, you better speak on it. Appreciate you so much. Ooh, that was a gem of a call. Thank you, fam. I appreciate you, fam. I appreciate y'all. Ooh, y'all on a roll tonight. Yes, the red, white, and blue. Listen, you cannot find nothing more patriotic than a Negro with a flag. America has done everything to us to beat us and kick us under the car and drive over us with the bus. And we still believing because we know we built the country and we want part of what we built and access to it. You can't find, there's no more patriotic group. And it's going to just emerge. It is what it is. You can't stop it. Let me go to the next call. I appreciate that call. That was a wonderful call. Let me go to my next call. I'm going now to 904. 904, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hello, my name is Alvindia. I'm originally from Detroit, but now I live in the DMV area.
Hey, what's going on? What's on your mind?
Well, I watched the debate last night. I treated it like a Super Bowl party because that's what it is. And then I see on Facebook, listen to the comments, and I don't know, it just hurts my heart. A lot of my friends from Detroit, they're like, "Oh, you guys, now we got to vote for Biden. After this debate, we got to vote for Biden." And I'm like, y'all just don't get it. It's like it's killing my soul. Like it's 2 white men up there. So 2 rich white men at that. Mm-hmm. And you're just saying, I mean, so what we supposed to pick, just another master? They're both a master. Like, it hurts my heart that they're not understanding that either one, nothing's changing in Detroit, nothing's changing in the DMV, nothing's changing in St. Louis, nothing's changing in Cleveland. And I don't know how to, like, I'm trying to figure out how do I get to especially my people in Detroit to let them know, like, either one of them, we're in trouble.
Well,
you know?
It's hard, right? I mean, I think sometimes the best way to get to people is to ask questions, right? So, well, let me ask you, like, what did Biden do for black people when he was? I'm just asking. I don't mean no disrespect. When he was in the Senate or whatever, what did he do? Well, I don't know, but he gonna do better. Okay. Well, better is better than Trump, which means it's the status quo. So sometimes you just gotta play stupid. I'm just asking. Like, does he have a plan? What is his plan for reparation, whatever? No, he got a plan for that. He got a plan for that. Well, he got a plan for mass incarceration. Okay, so your plan for black people in terms of ADOS is to just undo what you did? Well, I guess I would be better than Trump. And you just sometimes you just have to ask questions and let people stew in their own anxiety and confusion. Because if not, if you try to kind of...
Yes, that's
go
true.
ahead. Go ahead, fam. I'm sorry.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's true. It's just, I'm just trying to figure out, even my mother who's older, she's like, you got to vote for Biden. And I'm like, Mom, like, you don't get it. And then I'm like, I'm losing a lot of friends on Facebook because they're like, if you don't vote for Biden, then you're for Trump. And I'm like, y'all just don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they don't get it. Like,
no, they reflexive. I remember that too. Like, I went through everything everybody's calling me, telling me they went through. I went through during the Obama era. So I didn't go through it like this time, but during the Obama era, where you just either you with us or against us. What is this? What is this called? What are y'all talking about? I mean, what you mean? So I went through all of this before, but the beauty of it is most people come around eventually. Like at a later time, they usually come back around and kind of limp up. Well, I guess I might have made a mistake. So you just have to plant seeds, but what I will say though is don't let anybody aggravate you. Like, it's not worth the aggravation. Listen, I will leave your house if you bother me. I will walk straight out. We just serving dinner. I don't care. Give it to the dog. I'm leaving. I'm not going to stay here and be...
that's what I understand. And you know what? Right now I work at the Pentagon, so I'm like always the only black woman in the meeting, surrounded by all white men. And I'm like, I think when you don't leave your environment, sometimes you don't see the big picture. And I've been seeing the big picture since I've been in my field. Like, they don't realize how much power white men still have over America.
Yes.
Like,
they run
have
everything.
So much power. Like, I'm in these rooms and I'm like, how am I the only black person in 2020 in this room of power? It makes no sense. How is that even possible at this point? And how did I get here? And sometimes I sit here and I'm like, how did I get here? And you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm supposed to be here for a reason.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to still figure it out. Maybe I'm supposed to be here. And why am I here? What am I trying to do for my people? Because while I'm sitting there, I don't hear half the stuff they're saying. I'm thinking, me being here, how can I help my people?
Yeah.
Because this is ridiculous in 2020.
Well, I do believe that. Like, but I think. See, I'm about through. Like, luckily, ADOS has, and I've met some of them. Some boomers who really get it, right? But the problem is that they're not representative of the rest of them. Like, the rest of them have had good lives. Like, so what? So what, Grandma? If you go vote for Biden, you still gonna get your Social Security check. Ain't that gonna change in your life? Like, we're talking about the change in the people who are Gen X's, millennials, and their kids. I don't mean no disrespect, but you're on your last leg, great grandmama. So just hush. So it's like you gonna get like what you gonna get. They're not gonna do anything to undermine your Social Security check getting to you or whatever. You good. You just trying to maintain the status quo. We need better than the status quo because we understand where this life is going for us, and they don't understand that we're in two very different predicaments. Like, if this stuff doesn't change, ain't gonna be no retirement for us.
Exactly. My mother, you was a social worker. My dad, you worked at the prison. You guys got your Social Security. Everything's all set. I don't have. Where my stuff at?
Ain't gonna be there. You might as well just prepare to do something till you die, till you fall over. That's why that's how they got our stuff set up. We just gonna, I gotta go somewhere at work. I'm 85, but I gotta be somewhere at 9 o'clock in the morning.
But that's why I called, just to say that I just want to, I just want to talk to some people that actually understood how I felt, because when I talk to my other people, like, I feel like they don't understand where I'm coming from. They just feel like, oh, if you're not with us, you're against us. And sometimes it bothers me. It bothers your soul.
Well, the propaganda is very thick too. See, sometimes you have to just walk away and know that, like, these people have been propagandized. Like MSNBC and CNN and all these newspapers is on all day. And they have made you believe that Trump is something out of the ordinary in America. No, Trump is the most overt and vocal, in terms of his racism. That doesn't mean that he's not, that's not normal. Most of the time, no, people don't just outright and say it. They don't outright and say it's bad on both sides. You got the white supremacists who've been killing Negroes, and you got these Antifa people, and this is bad on both sides. Most people just don't come out and say it, but they be thinking it, right? So, I mean, in terms of white America, so it's not, listen, this is not different. It's just that these other people haven't been honest with you about how they feel. It's not different. It's not, Trump isn't any kind of anomaly, except for the fact that he just talked a lot of truth about what he think and his sociopathology. Most people just don't do that. They know enough to hide it. That's the big difference.
Well, that's what I appreciate from him. I want him to be honest, to wake a lot of people up. Like, this is America. My last thing for you, I'm going to hang up, but can you speak on, I know I see a lot of people talking about arming up because of what he said. I watched it, but I really didn't hear what he said exactly. For some reason, I just couldn't hear it. But I know a lot of black people are talking about arming up now, and when we vote, we got to be careful. And I just want you to just speak on that, on how you feel about that. Do you feel like we should? Are we preparing for something like bigger in a sense? I know a lot of people are like, I feel like it's like going to be like kind of a race war, and that's not what I want. I hope it doesn't go that direction.
Well,
but I feel like we're at a I don't know.
Well, I don't want anybody to jump outside and go get into fisticuffs or get into shootouts or duels or anything like that. And I think, here's what I'll say about arming up, or whatever you want to call it. And I've said this before. I think ADOS, as well as all Americans, have a right to have a weapon. That's just the Second Amendment. That is what it is. You have that right. Nobody can take that right from you. What I will say is, before you arm, make sure you have a conversation with yourself so you don't rage out or black out about something that has nothing to do with protecting your house, protecting your family, protecting yourself. It's very easy to you never know what's going to happen in your life, in your marriage, in your relationship. You get real angry. You come home, somebody you love is in bed with somebody else. Just have a conversation with yourself about when you will set clear guidelines about when you will use that firearm. You will only use it to protect yourself and your family. You have to be clear. You will not use it because you had a very bad and depressing day. You may have lost your mama and your daddy in a car accident, and you come home and you want to take your own life. You better get serious with yourself. Have an emotional conversation. I don't care if you have to have therapy with yourself to make sure that you don't use that to harm yourself. It is only for self-defense. You don't believe in violence, but you will protect yourself. Ida B. Wells said every Negro should have a gun above the whatever. What was it? Fireplace or mantle or shotgun or something like that. So I understand it. I'm just saying, and I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying, make sure you have that conversation with yourself, because it's very easy to rage out and black out when somebody offends you or somebody hurts you. You have to take care of yourself emotionally, because you can do something with that gun to yourself or to somebody else that you will never be able to take back. So you have to I'm not opposed to firearms at all. I was raised with firearms, so I'm not opposed to them. I'm just saying you have to do emotional inventory, because most people, you listen, we're as ADOS, we're in kind of dark times right now in terms of we got COVID, we losing jobs, a lot of stuff is happening, we're getting depressed. It only takes one day. Most people who commit suicide do not plan it. Most of them have a really bad day and come home and fall into despair. I'm just saying that you have to have that conversation with yourself about when you will use it, when you will pick it up, when you will put it in your hand, and what you will put it in your hand for. And I will say you only put it in your hand for, unless you're at the range, you only put it in your hand to protect yourself or someone you love. Someone is threatening the life of yourself or someone you love. I think you have to get that in your head, right? And the risk of it, like remember what happened to Philando Castile when he was just saying, I have a gun in the back. So there are a lot of things that you have to consider. That's all I'm saying. I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying that, like, if you do it, there's a lot that comes with it, and you have to take seriously everything that comes with gun ownership. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and I want to say thank you. I'm glad I found this group. I'm gonna be tired in the morning when I wake up for work.
All right, fam. Thank you so
you.
much. It was a great call. I appreciate it. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of people gonna be tired. People be tired all the time. Yvette, baby, tired. I was sleeping. It is all your fault, and that's true. I take ownership of it. I'm going right now to 707. 707. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hi, my name is Iris, and I'm calling.
Turn your background down for me.
Hi, I'm calling from California. My name is Iris, and I just wanted to say I was cracking up on the debate last night when Trump used your talking point about Obama's gift.
Turn your background down a little bit for me, but yeah.
I was cracking up. I said he obviously has been watching your show, or one of his, supporters have been watching your show.
And Biden didn't know what to do with it. Well, you gave it to him. You did it. You know what to do with it.
I was laughing so hard I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And Biden, like you said, he was stuck on stupid.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to do with that. But I just want to say thank you. You guys have opened up my eyes, you and Tone, about getting in this political arena and really looking at the candidates for what they are and not what I thought they were. And I just want to say, ADOS family, I love you guys. And that's it.
Thank you, fam. I appreciate it. Thank you, fam. No. If Biden had watched the show, his people watched the show, he would have known what to do with it. You know this is coming because y'all wrote that. See, y'all are getting on Trump for taking advantage of something, and y'all have been giving all these little giveaways that have been embedded in all these bills they've been running away with. Trump's just the only one that's talking about it. Y'all been writing a bunch of little stuff. Remember what Antonio talked about how many white multimillionaires were created during the Obama administration? Like, we don't even know how many of these little things were written into that, right? That's important. That's very important. So I'm going to my next call. I am going right now to 832. 832, what's your name? Where you calling from? What is on your mind?
Oh, this is Jack. I'm from Texas. How you doing, Yvette?
Pretty good.
I saw the debate. The debate was a shit show. I didn't learn anything. Should I vote for Biden or Trump? They were just like screaming over each other, I didn't learn nothing. Did you learn anything, Yvette?
No. It was like a wrestling match. That's what it felt like to me. And so I just got giggles.
WWE. I didn't learn anything, I was hoping like, hey, maybe they're gonna say something, but I didn't learn anything. But I'm gonna say one thing. Trump said he's gonna give us the platinum plan. How come we can't say to Biden, Trump is giving us a platinum plan, what are you going to give us?
I mean, I think that's what for one, the platinum plan has a lot of loans, right? And for two...
No, we know what the platinum plan is, but Biden hasn't said anything.
Well, he has...
we can use that as leverage. He's giving us this.
I
what
agree.
Are you offering us?
But Biden has decided. Biden has decided, listen, I got a black agenda up. That's it. And that's all you're going to get. Right? He done made a decision. See, the thing is, we don't even set ourselves up to be able to use leverage as ADOS. When the time to use leverage really was South Carolina. But instead of being able to say, hold on, what are you going to do for us? We had Clyburn going to do fish fries and got everybody to drop out the race so that Biden could be the winner. And so we didn't even get to use our leverage. That leverage was taken away from us. So now the leverage that we have is our vote. That's why I say I'm dim down ballot. That stuff that he's doing in terms of ain't no reparations as the heartbeat, that's not good enough. And I think, to me, I think my leverage is at the voting booth, because you're not going to listen to nothing other than that. Because Biden done moved on to Latinos anyway. He done said they're more diverse, and which means that they vote Republican, and I got to work harder for them. He done moved on. So
yeah, but let me tell you something. The black population has been the Democratic Party. Oh, they moving to Latinos now. Then why the hell should we vote for Democrats? We should tell them straight out, well, if you ain't gonna do shit
language, fam, language. Children
well, we might as well. Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this: if the black community vote for Trump, then Biden gonna get scared. But we gotta tell them straight out: if Biden ain't gonna do shit for the black community, well, we better off with Trump. And I bet you.
Thank you, fam. I appreciate you, but that was too many shit words for me. But I do agree that ain't nobody that's what down ballot is about for me. Like, nobody's gonna keep voting for you and keep getting the short end of the stick. We have told you what we want. We've been talking about what we want for a long time. It doesn't make sense that we still have to, well, I sure do wish y'all would, and I sure would appreciate it. No, they don't drive Miss Daisy no more. We about finished with that. So let me go to the next caller. I'm going now to 281. 281, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hi there, Yvette. I'm so happy to be calling in and talking with you. I've been following you for quite a few years now.
Hey!
Hey, AWS Sam. I would say, I think some of the really interesting points in the debate happened to be around Biden's response to when Trump interrupted him. He was clearly flustered, lost his train of thought, and I would think that because Trump is pretty consistent with his demeanor and how he is and his style, very narcissistic. And so I would think that Biden and his team would, better prepare for the debate and be able to respond with facts and solid counter arguments and rebuttals. But he fell incredibly flat. Additionally, after the debate, I don't know if you caught this, but Van Jones was on CNN, and he asserted that he was shocked that Trump did not denounce white supremacy.
Shocked.
And I was shocked that he was shocked at that. I don't, you were really surprised. And I mean, he allegedly contributed in terms of helping the Trump administration, create a weak police reform bill. And I don't know if he fell for the okie doke. I don't know, but I was shocked that he was shocked. I don't get it.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know I don't know what Van Jones be doing. Like I don't even know what goes on with him. In the sense of like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, this man doesn't want to lose the election, and he has people like that are going to be disruptors if he does, or if it looks like he does, or if something goes wrong. Stuff can go wrong too. It don't have to be just stuff. It could be stuff. Stuff is messy. It looks kind of catacona. And he got people on the ready. What do you mean you're surprised? Like, what world?
Absolutely.
He played for keeps. Trump played for keeps. He don't play for games.
That's right. And you gotta come prepared. But that's all I had to say. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Yvette, Town Talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you, fam. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
I am going to the next call. Let's see where I'm going. I'm going to where should I go next? I'm going to 702. 702, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hello, Yvette.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, it's Charlie again.
Hey, Charlie.
I'd just like to say that I appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate your perspective on it. I think you're absolutely correct in terms of this being a moment of truth I like that. I really do like truth and clarity. Because the problem, we've talked about this before, one of the problems we have is that we've been unclear for so long. I mean, we came out of the fallacy of integration, and then we went into that period of time when we were thrown things that seemed to be working in terms of integration, the handouts that were given to some people for a period of time and weren't continued on. So we've been in this dream state, and Tone talks about that with the veil. It was a dream state we were in for about 20 years there, from the late 60s until 1980. We were in this weird. I understand it. We came out of a time of despair. I mean, that's like my grandparents and the rest of them told me about how horrible it was and how despicable that time was. So we came out of that period of despair, and we were given, as you say, butter biscuits, and that was good because you hadn't eaten, you were starving. And so you had this moment of, oh, well, maybe this is going to work. And it lasted for about a decade, maybe even a decade and a half. And, those people are still dreaming right now. Those are people who are still trying to vote for Biden. Those are people who came up during that time period who were able to have a decent life. They were actually in the American ideal stream for a moment. They made it to the suburbs. They had that taste of it, but they weren't able to. They weren't able to sustain it. They weren't able to pass it on to their children. They weren't able to keep it going anywhere past that moment in time that they had. And so I think you're absolutely correct in terms of this being a moment of clarity. And I hope that people, I mean, it's unfortunate you have to wake people up this roughly, but it needs to happen. And Trump, the thing about Trump that is beautiful, and I've told people this before, I said it's beautiful because he is so openly like that. He is so openly this narcissistic, sociopathic American person that I grew up with when I was going to school. Those were the teachers and administrators, and those were the professionals that I had to encounter when I was growing up. I'm a little older, like I said before, I'm a little older than you and Tone, so I was able to see that shift over because you had that thing that happened right there around the time Reagan came in the office when they were like, well, that's over with now. We're going to treat you the way you need to be treated. And suddenly things shifted over into that. And the thing about Trump and Biden is I don't see a difference. Those look like two old men who have coffee in the morning at the McDonald's and have arguments with each other. I've seen that. It's the two old right racists at the McDonald's arguing about, what to do about things, and how bad the black people are and how bad the young people are and all this crap, and they just all into themselves, all selfish. Trump was correct. I mean, Biden's a crime bill man. I mean, what the hell? I love the fact that he threw that in his face. I was hoping, I said, why don't you calm down a little bit and start hitting him with some of this stuff, because it's truth. I mean, the fact of the matter is he's no friend of black people. Trump's not a friend of black people. Neither one of them is. They're sitting there playing that game, but at least Trump comes out and says, hey, I got my Proud Boys out there waiting in the cut if things don't go the way I wanted to. I understand that, because that's the way, if you read American history, even the last 100 years, it's always been like that. You've always had these men in power who've always, they've walked in power like that. It's just that Trump is brutal with it. He's not going to come with that. He doesn't have that Ivy League shine on him where he can come in there and smile and he'll give you those words. Like, not even George Bush. George Bush's father was a perfect example of that. He didn't care about black people, but he talked a good game. He talked real polite in the room and real soft, and he was real nice to black people and then didn't do a damn thing for them, because that's the game. That's why they're mad at Trump, because he's not playing the game right. You're supposed to come in a room and be nice to him and then kick him in the ass. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. And so it's nice. It's nice to see Trump come out there. I was overjoyed when he called out to the Proud Boys. I really was. I was like, there we go. Now we're gonna get this going, because let's get it going. Let's just stop all this foolishness and just have the Proud Boys out there out front, and the president going, yeah, they're my guys. Because then we just have clarity, and you won't have the media going, well, this isn't us. This isn't us. But yeah, it is. It's Biden's crime bill. It's Trump calling out for the Proud Boys. It's all of that. It's Clinton supporting Clinton and his wife talking about super predators. It's Obama, he was a white man with a black father. I mean, that's what he was. It's him calling out for the things he called out. He militarized the police. That was him. People forget. The funds have been cut off, and Obama came back with more money to give the police more paramilitary equipment. People walk by that crap because they're so in love with this weird Cosby thing he was throwing out there. But that was him that did that. It was Holder that didn't freaking take that ball and run towards these police. All that stuff started with him. Start with Trump. We had the killings under Obama. He'd come out there and say nothing. Holder would say nothing. I'm from the Midwest. I remember those shootings that went down, and it was all calmed down by Holder and everybody. They go, "Oh, we'll go and investigate." You go and investigate, and you found it. You went in. They went in. Holder went around the country, went to Cleveland and a bunch of other places, and he investigated. He said, "Yeah, the police force has a white supremacists in there, and they're abusive of power, and well, you guys need to do something about that." And he walks away, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, hold on a second. You're the man.
And
You're sitting in a chair of power. How are you walking away from this and doing nothing?"
And let me just say this,
what is that about? So
what people don't understand is that he could have dissolved those police forces. Like the people don't understand that the Attorney General has the power to dissolve them and say this is no longer a department. No, we're taking this whole no. We're dissolving this whole thing. Y'all gonna have to figure something else out. Build from the ground up. Like, I don't think people understand the power that Holder had. You just can't say, well, he couldn't do nothing. He could do a lot. So I'll go on, fam. I'm sorry.
yes. No, that's all right. You're right. That was the thing. People were calling for that with Holder, and he just, I don't even know what he said. He just said some words. He threw some air out of his mouth and just walked by that. And people were like, well, what are you going to do about it? You're finding all these egregious things. You're finding all, I mean, literally, you can read those reports. I read them. They were white. He said, oh, there's a national network of white supremacists in the police departments around the country. A national, not local, not regional, national organizations with a network of white supremacist organizations in the police force. We know this. We know their history. We know what they're about. And they proved it. They said, here's the evidence. We got all the evidence, blah, blah, blah. And, nothing. And like you said, he didn't make that next step because they weren't about doing that, because they were about sustaining this system. They were about getting paid. They were about maintaining their positions with the butter biscuits, sitting in those chairs. And that's the thing that's so great about this. I want them to say these things. I want Trump out there saying these things, because you can't hide anymore. You can't hide. They keep trying to say, oh, it's just Trump. No. Half the country voted for this man. They support him now. He says all kinds of crazy stuff, and they rally around him. They come to those
with no mask
stadiums,
on.
and they chant, and they, oh, he's our guy, and they jump up and down and wear those MAGA hats, and they love this man. Yep. I mean, he's a rock star. Yeah. He's a rock star because he's saying the things that they can't say. They can't come to work and say that.
Nope.
Because they might get a butt beaten. But, so they can't really come to work and say that. But Trump says it for them, and they can go at home and feel nice and warm at night and go, yeah, that's good. That's my man right there, saying exactly what needs to be said. And they know that. But nobody wants to, the media doesn't want to come out and say that, because these are all these, once again, these middle-class Ivy League and elite college people going, well, he shouldn't really be this way. That's not how we are in America. Yeah, it is. It's exactly how you are in America. You're sitting here with how is it that we don't have universal health care? Canada's right there. People talk about socialism. Canada's right there. You got Americans running to Canada to sneak in there and get medical treatment. How? Yeah. White people. We're talking about white people sneaking up in there. Because you have this system that's so biased against black people, you will cut off your nose to spite your face.
Every time.
You will destroy your social safety net so that you don't let black people have it. That is sick. Yeah, that is sick and twisted, and we've been living with this thing around it, and they've been manipulated. The people at the top have been using that as a freaking spear to attack this whole thing. Yeah, you don't want those black people to have any help, do you? Well, no. Well, what about my uncle? Well, screw him. He's a ne'er-do-well anyway. He's nothing. He didn't do what he's supposed to do. But those black people over there, screw them. And so you have this system in place where they've been doing this over and over again. So I am glad. I mean, I'm not glad. Listen, I live in America, so I got to take what I can take. Absolutely. I am glad that Trump at least is honest about it. He comes out there. He says the truth of white supremacy. He speaks it as well as he can. He doesn't go all the way, but he goes far enough. That Proud Boy thing, that was a heck of a moment. I thought that was great.
Wasn't it though? He said what? Okay. Now we understand.
Oh yeah, that was. Did people talk about gangsta? That was straight up gangsta hood stuff right there. I want you to stand back and stand down, or whatever the heck. Stand by. Stand by for orders.
Yep.
Stand by for orders, because I'm gonna throw it down when this thing drops. I want you to stand back and stand by. And wait for let's wait for further orders is what that is. That's keep your powder dry, because I may have a mission for you in a minute. This is what this is. This is some real Woodrow Wilson type stuff going on right there, man. I mean, I'm like, what the hell, man? You throwing it down. And we need that though, because for so long we've had this powder puff. Oh, you know, we got some midnight basketball for you black people. We got some silly stuff that we got for you guys. You know, some ain't even butter biscuits. It's like crumbs of the butter biscuit. And we're gonna throw this crap at you, and you'll be happy with this because you know we're paying attention to you. And we'll pat you on the head and we'll walk. No, man. Let's stop all this. Let's stop all this and bring Trump to the table. Have him talking that crap. And let's hear it.
I agree, fam. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your call. That was a great call. But I think you're right. And we're going to find out. Everybody going to find out a lot of things soon. Thank you, fam. I appreciate you.
Yep, thank you.
Because, and the leader of the Proud Boys ain't no, like, Aryan. No, that's Enrique Tarrio or whatever his name is. So, good luck to y'all with all these coalitions. And let me just say one other thing, too. I understand what people said about what he said about you got to shake some people away. You just got to shake them away. Because I'm a person who, like, I had to be kind of shook awake. I wasn't a morning person. I like to stay up late. And you ever had one of those people in your life that just silently cry because they don't want to be awake? Like, that was me. So I understand that you're gonna have to shake me. So I understand what that means. In a kind of a philosophical sense. You're gonna have to. Hey, we got to get up. And that's what's happening in America. It just is what it is. So let me go to my next caller. I'm going now to 845. 845. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, Yvette? My name's Chesney, and I'm calling from Brooklyn, New York.
What's going on with you?
I love what you're doing. I've been following you and Tone for a couple of years now on YouTube, and I just wanted to say, a couple of two things really, about the debate last night.
Okay.
And just really one about the media in particular. I thought it was really interesting last night because, what Trump has really done is that he's basically given the media exactly what they are, in terms of how they deal with politics. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the media basically turned elections into personality contests. And basically, like the caller said before, into this thing that was less about substance and more about, like, is this person a rock star personality, right?
Yeah.
And so as the media culture kind of turned into reality TV, Trump really was that perfect storm. You know what I mean? Because he basically made he was a kind of like tailor fit for the circus. Like they turned politics, at least on television, into a circus, right? And so it became less about data and facts. And that's what I really love about you and Tone, because you guys come with the data. You know what I mean? You guys come with, looking at this from a perspective of, thoughtfulness and thinking, and you put, academic rigor into it, And that was one of the things that really, really attracted me to what you guys were doing, And I think now that Trump's kind of given them who they are, they don't know what to do with it, and they don't know how to respond to it. You know what I mean? Like, it was clear, the tactics of what he was doing in that debate. Like, Trump didn't care whether or not he won a debate. He didn't come there to debate. You know what I mean? He came there with a specific agenda, which was to make Biden look weak, which, that was pretty easy to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and to make it, and to make that whole system look ridiculous, The other point that I wanted to kind of share about the media is that it's really interesting how the media has really made a pointed effort to not let ADOS tell our story. Whether it comes from, whether you're looking at Hollywood or theater or even in the political sphere, I'm a performer, a performance artist, teaching artist. I teach in prisons, I teach in schools, I tour around the world, that kind of stuff before this COVID. And I remember I did a show about my life, because I was really inspired, and a lot of the inspiration I will say did come from you guys
Oh.
really saying, you know, like, look at our history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at where, you know, I grew up in Mississippi, you know, Chicago, Wisconsin, North Carolina. I lived all around. I lived in New York for the past 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when the New York Times came to review my show, they were basically, a sister, you know, a young black woman, basically said that I was using my grandparents' story to get my story more historical.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And that I basically shouldn't be done now just to give a little bit of background about that story. The story came from, you know, my grandfather when he was growing up. His father was a bootlegger, right?
Uh-huh.
In the early 20th century, and he was one of the biggest bootleggers in Oklahoma. And so the police, or the U.S. Marshals and the state police, went outside of their jurisdiction, came to that home, just started firing into the home, and so my great-grandfather shot back, right, and killed 2 U.S. Marshals.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so then they took his eldest son, Claude, right,
Okay.
and then they lynched him, right? And so on the lynching photograph, right, which became a postcard, because that's what they did with lynching photographs, right? And I got this information because it ended up ultimately being reported in the newspaper, like, you know, while I was doing the research for my play, and this guy found the photograph of, you know, my great uncle, and the guy who was a part of that lynching was the district attorney. So then the district attorney, after he lynches, you know, my great uncle, right? He ends up going on to become a mayor, right? Then he runs for governor of Oklahoma, right? And then this is part of one of the points in this particular part of the show was that, you know, by him killing our patriarchs, right? By him killing our family, kind of it set off a chain reaction. You know what I'm saying? So I put this photograph. This is the only photograph in the show, you know, that was really kind of graphic, you know, because I wanted people to see, you know, these people lynched my family. But then the district attorney, the one who ends up, you know, becoming the mayor and running for governor, and then ends up like getting brought up on corruption and bribery charges later on in his career. Right? See, his grandson becomes a very famous country singer named Henson Carter later, right? So you're just looking at the lineage, and I'm just looking at it like these people who lynched my family, which ended up setting off this chain reaction of, you know, of incarceration and lost fathers, but then their children end up becoming famous country singers and ended up having
and you understand what was inherited then.
Yeah. You know, but then the New York Times, when this sister comes to the show, they're basically saying that the stuff that when I'm telling my life, we're what do they call it? A trauma porn, right?
Ooh,
right?
see, let me just
calling it trauma porn.
Trauma porn.
You know,
let me just stop right there. Let me just stop right there, fam. And let me just say one thing. What they're telling you is that they can inherit everything from their family. They can inherit careers. They can inherit money. They can inherit everything from their family. You can't even inherit your family's story. Like, understand that. You can't even own the story. Go on, fam. I'll let you finish up.
No, yeah. I mean, I just wanted to like I said, I really love what you're doing, and it really gives. It really makes me feel like I have a home in my feelings and what I've been going through, and I'm getting ready to write another show. You know, I didn't really care that the New York Times dissed my piece and said that, you know, I was using, you know, my mom's story and my dad's story to give my story historical heft. But I just say that to say, I'm going to end it with this, is that they are strategic in how they go about trying to take our stories away from and
Okay.
and
Gotcha.
and craft a narrative, right, to keep us out of the system of America, to keep us.
I agree. It's all a way to control. Thank you, fam, so much for that story. That was a powerful story. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, fam. And I want to say this, fam. It's all a way to control us. If you can't even control your story, you can't even control and discuss and own. Now, if somebody white wants to write about it and write a book about it, that's fine. But we can't control our own narrative, our own traumatic experiences that still play a role in our lives today. What does that say? I think part of what ADOS has done is kind of move us outside of that. No. You don't get to control me. We're not doing something where you control me. You can't call my life and experience trauma porn. That's their story. And I'm telling you that story. Would you say that to somebody who had a grandfather or a grandmother in Auschwitz and wrote about it? Would you say that? No, you wouldn't say that. You're a coward. You would never say that. And we should never let people do that. Like, we have to, that's why we have to be very cohesive. We either rise together or fall together. I'm going to my last call. I'm going now to 267. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
What's going on, Yvette? It's JT from Philly.
Hey, what's going on with you?
What's going on? I just wanted to talk about the debate last night.
Okay.
All right. That I was cracking up the whole time. I just feel like we were looking at two tyrants that will always find a pretext for their tyranny. Biden sucked. He's going to do better than that because Trump was making very valid points. I've been listening to you and Tone for, I want to say, like 2 years now.
Okay.
And in one of your shows, I think it was like last week, there was a couple callers calling in talking about how voting down ballot was not something that they really wanted to do. And I kind of agree, because if they're not listening to us nationally, well, this is what I can say locally. Locally, they're not listening to us either. So my question is, what do we do?
Well, I think it's the same thing. I mean, I think like I said, if you can't find anybody on your ballot, like let's say, see, the reason we say Democratic down ballot is because that's the party we normally vote for. That's the party we own, and so you know, most of us get Democratic ballots anyway when we go vote. But let's just say you can't find anybody on the ballot that you want to vote for. I've said it before. Find an initiative. Find a tax increase. Find a tax decrease. Are y'all going to have the spotted frog or whatever? There's always something on any ballot that's not necessarily a candidate.
I will say this though. It is a challenge, because I will say this. Even I live in the state of Pennsylvania, and in the state of Pennsylvania, Democrats, they play dirty. I mean, so I grew up as a Democrat. I grew up, single mom, all that kind of stuff. So I understand, but now I understand more and more what they're doing. I mean, they succeeded in taking off the Green Party candidate off the Pennsylvania ballot.
Yeah.
So it's a shame.
Politics.
Even though I would never vote for Howie Hawkins anyway, because he doesn't support what I support, which are reparations and just a black agenda, a better black agenda for us. Absolutely. And that's not what I just don't see that right now.
Yeah, I think. See, the thing you have to be careful to do. See, and I've said this before, but and thank you, fam. I appreciate you calling in. We're getting late. People got to get up and go to work. But I appreciate you. And I didn't even plan on going on this long. This is gonna be the end of the show, fam. I'm sorry for you all I didn't get through, but we're gonna have this conversation about the debate some more. Don't forget. Well, this month, we'll have the all call-in show if you didn't get it. But they're gonna be. What is the other debate? It's like mid-October, so we're not gonna be through, fam. So if we didn't get to you tonight, we'll get to you. I think part of what my thing is, and this is it, in the sense of, you don't want people to disengage from politics, because I've seen people disengage from politics, and when people disengage, they don't know who's on the ballot, what's on the ballot. They just leave everything alone. Like, even if you got candidates that you're not voting for, you better know who they are and what they stand for and why you not voting for them. Do not vote against somebody or don't vote for somebody on that ballot and not know why. Just because you decided to stay home and kick your heels up. And even if you stay home, people mailing in ballots now. Right? So you need to know everybody on there, what they're doing, what they're not doing, and have a very specific reason if you're not voting for them. You need to be able to tell me why. Well, I didn't vote for this person, Yvette, because they so and so and so and so. It can't be just no, well, I just decided to stay home. No, because that's what the pimp said. No. We're not doing that. There's a lot of other stuff on the ballot, and I'm sure you can find something to vote for or against. Because there's a lot of stuff to vote against, too. There's a lot of people that you just want to be like, oh, no, he can't get in there. No, he's a scoundrel. He can't get in there. Or she's a scallywag. She can't get in. There's a lot of other, there are people you vote against, not just vote for. There are issues and referendums that you vote against. There are zoning laws that you vote against or vote for. These are all things that but you don't know if you just say, well, I'm just going to stay home. You don't even know that there was something on the ballot that impacts you. You know, there were people in California who live in California. Some of them might have been pimps who decided not to be involved in everything that was happening, right? So, like, you have to engage the system to really understand what you hate and what needs to be changed. You don't know what needs to be changed about the system if you're just sitting at home all the time. You know, you don't know. So that's what I'm talking about. You have to know what's on the ballot. Know I'm not voting for this thing, and this is why I'm not doing this thing, and this why. Oh, I'm doing this thing, and this why. But that's all I'm doing. That's fine. Stay engaged, though. You got to stay engaged. Anyway, fam, that is it. Please hit that like button. If you want to donate, go to patreon.com/ycarnell. Go to adosmerch.com for the shirts. What am I missing? $ breaking brown if you want to donate. But let me tell you, hitting that like button, if you still in there, hitting that like button costs you no monies. Costs you no monies to hit that like button, to hit that bell, to hit that subscribe. If you have not hit that subscribe button, it's a way to help the channel, and it costs you absolutely nothing. Anyway, fam, that is the end of the show. I will see you all next time. It's fall, fam. It's a fall is my favorite season, fam. It's a wonderful time to be alive. But anyway, fam, we in it, and we here now, and ain't nothing we gonna do but just keep fighting. So I will talk to everybody the next time. Be easy breezy, take care of yourself, and wear your mask.